Hi everyone, we are back. We bring to you the Champions Trophy preview. Firstly, before we start the video, we'd like to say that Kush did not buy the new Champions Trophy jersey from us, but you can see the jersey over here. This is a Champions Trophy Player Edition jersey that we bought for just 1300 rupees. If you go to the Adidas website, it's for 5000. We give the same quality, even better material for 1300. So let's start the video. Firstly, we'd like to discuss India's performance in the England ODI series. How has it been since there were no warm-up matches before the Champions Trophy? These were the only three games that India was scheduled to play. India won all three of them, but let's discuss in detail how good the performance was and what our panel members have thought about it. Yeah. Let's let Aditya go first.
So I think India's performance overall was good, but there were two concerns for me which I observed. One was obviously the consistency of Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli. I think they did perform in one match. Rohit scored that century and Virat that half century, but I don't think that was convincing enough because in the other two matches they barely scored, and I think that is still going to be a concern when they go ahead. Virat is really struggling against leg spin, and that might be a concern in the UAE where the ball will turn for sure. Apart from I think obviously the pace bowling is going to be an issue. The absence of Bumrah is obviously something that a team cannot cope up with. But apart from that, I just feel like Harshit Rana and Arshdeep Singh and Mohammed Shami as well. I don't think they have been up to the mark or what India would have expected out of them. I feel like the spinners have taken most of the workload when it comes to taking the wickets in this series as well.
Kush, next.
Well, I believe India have all the bases covered. The top order has been good in the series. Rohit scored some runs, Virat got some runs under his belt. Shubman also did score some runs. But my area of concern is that I don't think Arshdeep has got enough game time to prove his mettle in ODIs. He has been a phenomenal bowler for us in the T20 internationals, but ODIs, I believe he should have gotten some game time under his belt before an all-important tournament like Champions Trophy.
So, one question that I would like to ask to the entire panel, maybe Kush, you can answer. Sorry, Karthik, you'll have to wait for your turn, just like you've done the entire placement season. First, the question is, do you think Mohammed Shami coming back, he played only two matches, was his performance convincing enough to justify his place in the playing 11? Given that his experience, I know he will play, but do you think that he is still the same match winner that he was in the 2023 ODI World Cup?
To be honest, the performance has not been convincing enough, to me at least. But he's a champion bowler, and the way he bowled in the 2023 World Cup, I think he will find his way. He'll find his mojo and he'll come back strong. So, I mean, you didn't have a lot of options in the bowling department, so you had to pick Shami, given Bumrah was also injured. And one thing I feel that the Indian management missed is picking Siraj. They should have gone with Siraj instead of Harshit Rana. I believe Gautam Gambhir ki backing hai usko, to he might have gotten that opportunity, which is
But
unfair to Siraj, honestly,
see,
because
one thing I'll just
he's been
like
a very
to,
good bowler in the last 1.5 years.
but I'll just like to contradict you on that. What I feel is that Mohammad Siraj, although he's a great new ball bowler, but honestly, I have not seen him pick up wickets in the middle, which in the UAE will be a prerequisite. Given what we've seen of Harshit Rana in the small three ODIs that he's played, he has bowled well in the middle overs. He's picked up two wickets every time he's come back for another spell. So it is a plus. But given Mohammad Siraj's recent form, his pace was going down. There was no consistency in wicket-taking form. So I think it is good that Harshit Rana was given a chance, at least in these three matches, and then not directly played in the Champions Trophy. He has the pace. He bowls at 140 consistently in any part of the spell. So that is one added thing. And honestly, yeah, I agree that Harshit Rana does have the backing of Gautam Gambhir, but yeah, that is what a coach does, right? If he believes in a player, he will push that player to perform better. Obviously, Mohammed Siraj was not performing well for at least 1 year. We saw in the Border Gavaskar Trophy too, he was not able to pick up wickets. He was just being smashed for runs, right? Karthik, your views?
But I believe,
Yeah.
to add to your point, I believe middle overs are not going to be a point of concern for India because they have five spinners in their team. So middle overs will be controlled primarily by Jadeja or Kuldeep Yadav if they're playing in that 11.
Okay. So that's what we've like. So the topic about fast bowlers, I think we've discussed enough. Talking about India taking five spinners to UAE. We already had four spinners: Akshar Patel, Jadeja, Kuldeep Yadav, and Washington Sundar. And Varun Chakravarthy was kept as a standby. But in the while making the final changes, they removed Yashasvi Jaiswal and they put in Varun Chakravarthy. So now we have five spinners. Karthik, do you think that India needs so many spinners, given that three of the five spinners that we are taking are batting all rounders?
I think it's a little tricky, or if I have to say it in a better way, maybe it's a bit bold and strategic. UAE pitches are slow and they tend to assist spinners when a match progresses. But I still think four spinners would have done the trick, and I think a better quality batting lineup should have been focused on, considering the fact that over the past multiple series and tournaments, our middle order tends to collapse quite early on. So yeah, it's a tricky move, but let's hope it works out.
So, do you think five spinners are enough? Because obviously, one of the spinners will not play the entire championship period, right? So, you got five
Yeah,
spinners.
I think it should be.
You,
If
you,
anything,
you,
it's
you would assume that Jadeja and Akshar Patel are given in the playing 11. One spinner would be
yeah.
either Kuldeep Yadav or Varun Chakravarthy. So, do you think taking Washington Sundar, maybe then they could have swapped Varun Chakravarthy with Washington Sundar and have Yashasvi Jaiswal in the squad? Because you only have one batsman as a backup, right? That is Rishabh Pant, who is also a wicket keeper. So India's batting stocks are quite less in this squad. That is what I feel.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I think the batting score is a bit weak, but I mean, I still feel like the fact that the pitch is going to be slow and they would assist the spinners more is something that BCCI has sort of, counted upon, which is probably the reason why they picked five spinners right now. And I think it's tricky, but like I said, I just hope it works out. But if it were up to me, I would have taken Yashasvi and kept Washington Sundar instead.
Okay, so one question. We all saw the form of Shreyas Iyer in the ODI series. Given that he was making a comeback to the ODI setup and his like runs were behind him in the Vijay Hazare as well. So his performance in the first ODI, he played a quick knock. In the third ODI, he was able to set the match up quite brilliantly. So what are your takes on it? You can also comment on Shubman Gill's form as well, the two of them.
Uh, if I can go ahead. So I think Shreyas Iyer is a very key element. India has always struggled with the number four position in the past, and I feel like he provides the right amount of momentum and acceleration even when the top order has struggled in the innings. And we have seen it in this series so far, like the past series with England as well. Especially with Rohit and Virat taking more time to settle in, which is kind of okay because it's an ODI. You need someone like Shreyas Iyer, especially when you're again playing Rahul as your wicketkeeper over Pant, because Rahul again is more of a traditional batsman rather than Pant who takes more risks. So I think Shreyas Iyer adds well to the dynamic of the team. Shubman Gill's form has been beautiful, and I hope that keeps on continuing. So
So
yeah.
what are the other people thinking? This is not a group discussion, guys. Come on.
Yeah, yeah, you can go ahead, Karthik.
This is not a group discussion. We are not looking for that type of a candidate.
No. I think it's good that Shreyas Iyer is there, and like Aditya mentioned that we have a lot of traditional batsmen, and some of them are not playing so well, like Rohit Sharma, KL Rahul, and apart from Virat Kohli's later recent performance at Ahmedabad, rest were quite questionable too. So yeah, it's good to have that sort of new agile younger blood in the team who can perhaps get going immediately once they're put onto bat. So, yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Over the years, I feel we've seen Virat Kohli providing the right amount of balance in the middle order.
Yep.
He can accelerate, he can play the second fiddle. But I feel over the last couple of years, Shreyas Iyer, since he cemented that number four spot, he's taken up that role and he's done a phenomenal job. He provides the right amount of balance. He can uh, sort of strike the ball. He can rotate the strike. He can hit the big sixes. He can play the second fiddle. He can basically keep the scoreboard taking. And it's good to have a player like that, especially when the pitches will be a little slow in the middle overs in Dubai. So it's good to have a player like him around.
Okay, so now that we've had our thoughts on the Indian squad, let's go on to the fixtures. India's campaign kickstarts on the 20th of February when they take on Bangladesh. Then we have the big match versus Pakistan on 23rd. And then there is a 6 day gap, post which India takes on uh, New Zealand on the 2nd of March. Now, it is interesting that all Indian matches will be happening in Dubai, and the semi-final that we'll be playing if we qualify and the finals as well, we will be playing it in Dubai. So, given that India will be accustomed to a particular ground, do you think it will be an advantage if India do qualify for the knockout stages? And also, please comment on how the pitch can deteriorate in the finals, given that it will be the fifth match that the Dubai Stadium will be hosting, if it does. भाई कोई तो बोलो.
So I think it will be an advantage if it deteriorates and it supports the spinners, because that's what India is counting on when they have gone with this strategy of taking more spinners. And if it doesn't, then it's going to backfire for India. And that's why the group stages are going to be super important. You never know with New Zealand or Pakistan what can happen in a match. And even if you're on a pitch that suits you, you never know, the best team that day might win. And that's why, again, this match with Bangladesh becomes vital, because it's a buffer match for India
Yes.
to kind of get into the conditions. And kind of, I wouldn't say Bangladesh is a easier team, but perception wise and past performance wise, Bangladesh is the easiest out of the three fixtures to at least get into understanding the pitch, getting those points, those 2 points. So yeah, I think it's important that India gets that first win for the momentum, and then out of the two fixtures, you definitely have to win one. And yeah, I hope at least against Pakistan, India wins.
India's match
India
against
do have an advantage.
yeah, go on, go on.
India do have an advantage in such a short tournament like Champions Trophy. But I feel you cannot let your guard down in this tournament because you're not playing too many matches. At max, you're going to play five matches if you play the finals. So
Yep.
each game is very crucial for each and every team. So you have to be at your absolute best and show up and do your job.
Karthik.
Yeah, there are just three group stage matches, and we cannot afford to lose either one of them to if we want to consolidate our position and move on to the next rounds quicker. And yes, the pitches can maybe become an issue later, but it's something that professionals have to get used to.
Given that Indians do not have such a good batting lineup against the spinners, we only have a few good players like Shreyas and Hardik in the middle overs. It can be an issue, especially in the New Zealand game where we all know how Mitchell Santner and Ace Sodhi have been a thorn in our flash. So I think the trickiest game, if we can say, will be the New Zealand game. If it is a do or die game, if we lose against Bangladesh or Pakistan, and if it is a must win game, we might collapse over there. That is what I think can happen. So it's a bit of a tricky situation. So now coming to predictions. Kushagra go first, Karthik second, and then Aditya. What will be your ideal playing 11 for the first match given? Make an assumption that the same lineup can continue the entire tournament.
Rohit, Shubman, Virat, Shreyas Iyer at 4, Rishabh Pant at 5, Hardik at 6, Jadeja at 7. Then we'll have two pacers in Mohammed Shami, and I believe they'll pick Harshit Rana to begin with, and Kuldeep Yadav.
One
And
more is left.
और कौन खेल रहा है भाई?
Varun Chakravarthy, Akshar Patel, or Washington is एक.
अक्षर पटेल.
Okay. Karthik next.
Yeah, I think of course Rohit Sharma being the captain, he'll definitely pick that slot. Then he'll probably open with Shubman Gill. One down would be Virat Kohli. He's been the most consistent performer for India in ICC tournaments. Then most likely it's going to be Shreyas Iyer, and then I think our wicketkeeper will be uh, KL Rahul, and he would also be the fifth one to coming. Then Hardik Pandya, Ravindra Jadeja. I think Kuldeep Yadav, Bumrah, and
There's no
दो
Bumrah.
बाकी रहे. Sorry, not Bumrah.
Shami.
Shami, yeah, Shami, Rana, and Akshar Patel.
Aditya.
So I'll go with Rohit and Shubman for opening, Virat at 3, Shreyas at 4. At 5, for the first match, I'll still go with Rahul because he's kind of played this series, and if there is a collapse, he might be the better batsman to kind of stabilize the innings. But if I feel second match onwards that the top order is performing, I would switch to Pant. After that, the three all-rounders in Hardik, Jadeja, and Akshar, any order you want to play them in batting. Specialist spinner Kuldeep. And then the two pacers, I will go with Shami again because of his experience, not because he's necessarily performed, but if he gets into rhythm, he'll be good in those pitches. And I will for now go with Harshit Rana over Arshdeep. Yes.
So I have the same opinion. The first three pick themselves. At number 4, I would have Shreyas. At number 5, just to have the righties separated, I'll have Akshar Patel at 5. Given that he was experimented at number 5 in the ODI series, he'll play at number 5. That's what I feel. KL can play at 6, or Hardik can step in at 6 if it's the finishing overs. KL at 6, Hardik at 7, Jadeja at 8. I would play Kuldeep Yadav, but given that even he's coming back from injury and if he's not able to pick up wickets in the first two matches, I would swap him with Varun Chakravarthy and then the two pacers, Shami and Harshit Rana. So this is our playing 11, guys. So quickly, let's move on to the predictions. Who do you think will be the finalists, the two finalists, and who can win? Let's start with Karthik.
सेमीफाइनलिस्ट पिक कर लेना पहले.
चार
सीधा
सेमीफाइनलिस्ट,
फाइनलिस्ट.
चलो ठीक है, ये भी सही है. चार
हाँ.
सेमीफाइनलिस्ट, दो फाइनलिस्ट और एक. कौन जीतेगा? भाई तू
Usually
म्यूट.
वैसे ही रहता है भाई, चार सेमीफाइनल लिया तो.
बोलना बोल.
uh,
चार सेमीफाइनलिस्ट.
इंडिया, न्यूजीलैंड, फिर कौन है, ऑस्ट्रेलिया,
देयर इज साउथ
तो
अफ्रीका एंड इंग्लैंड इन द अदर
हाँ
स्क्वाड,
हाँ.
अदर
सोच रहा हूँ
11.
उनमें. आई
देयर इज
थिंक साउथ अफ्रीका.
अफगानिस्तान टू.
नहीं, अफगानिस्तान नहीं.
ओके फाइन. आदित्य.
India and New Zealand from one group, and the second group, I South Africa, and I will for now go with England as the second team because Australia, I'm not too sure right now.
पुश.
I would pick India and New Zealand from one group, and South Africa, Afghanistan from the second group.
Just to spice things up, I would choose India and Bangladesh from our group. The second group, I would choose Australia and South Africa. England don't have the batting lineup to kind of get through the group stages. That is what I feel. So these are my four semis. Now quickly skip the finalists. Just give me your prediction for the winner.
ऑस्ट्रेलिया.
There's no Cummins, there's no Hazelwood, there's no Stark, but still you choose Australia. I think one person still haunts your dreams.
उसका दिल जशन जशन बोलता है अभी भी.
दिल जश्न जश्न बोले. आगे बोलो, कोई और बोलो भाई.
India
यार
South Africa final, and South Africa would win this time around.
ओके.
तू बोला था ना कि सर्टेन वर्ड्स यूज मत कर करके नमन.
हाँ ठीक है, ट्राई साइड खेल रहा है, उसकी हाईलाइट देख लो गाइस. व्हाट इज शॉट मैन. ओके.
तो क्यों ट्रॉमा दे रहा है हमें?
फॉर
ओके
मी
ओके. हाँ.
आई वुड से मतलब दिल बोलता है इंडिया बट ऑफ चांस आई वुड से न्यूजीलैंड.
ओके, एंड व्हाट अबाउट कुश.
I said India South Africa final, and South Africa will win this time around.
Okay, I would go for
जय
the
स्क्रिप्ट
rather.
राइटिंग इज ब्रिलियंट.
I would rather go for the India versus Australia final and India wins.
हम्म.
If Rohit Bhat decides to not hit a second six in that over. Okay, guys, that's it. Thank you for joining and watching the video. We are thrilled to bring to you the Champions Trophy preview. We'll be back for another video before the semis. And until then, for cheering Team India, you guys can buy the jersey from us. You can WhatsApp me. The price is
ये बंद
1300.
कर
If you get
सेल्स
a
तेरी.
special discount, you can, if you know me. So, or anyone on the panel for that matter, except for Karthik, he's not placed yet. That's it, guys. Thank you.
बेचने गया
Hey,
था, जाएगी